Technology does not exist to better your life. It exists to commodify your life. And nothing embodies that idea better to me than these stupid freaking Meta glasses. Oh my gosh, I hate them so much. I do not want screens on my face. I want to use screens less. And I know I'm not the only one, because you want to use screens less too. Everybody my age wants to spend less time on their screens. So you would think a product that is screen that you look at all the time would not be attractive to most consumers. And you'd be right. But there's a growing divide between the products that tech consumers want and the products that tech companies want to sell them. That's what I want to talk about. I promise this is a video about the stupid Meta glasses, but really this is a video about our relationship with technology, how it's changing, and a conversation I had with an Amish kid last year that I have not been able to stop thinking about. Last year, I broke up with my girlfriend and dropped out of college and started driving from Arizona to Alaska, which you may know is a telltale sign of someone doing really well, and being really happy with their life, and really just being in their right mind. Anyway, so I'm driving and I'm sleeping in the back of my car in a place called Glacier Park. That's northern Montana. It's like right up against the Canadian border, and I'm going on a hike in Glacier Park called the Hidden Lake. Looks like that. It's really pretty. It's this glacier runoff that creates this lake in between these two mountains. It's really high up. And on my way, I get passed by these three dudes. And the first thing I noticed about them was like they were all wearing natural threads, which sounds like a weird thing to notice, but like it was really noticeable. Like everything they were wearing was either 100% cotton or 100% wool. And they all had the same haircut, and no hate, not a very good haircut. And they all were growing beards, even though like they weren't really old enough to like grow a really good beard yet. So they're literally passing me as I'm noticing all this. And I, like any normal person, go, "Hey, are you guys Amish?" And all three of them like stop and like turn around to look at me. And for like a split second, I was terrified that they're going to be like, "No, we're not Amish. We're Blamish, and we hate the Amish." You know how like Chinese and Japanese people do not like it when you confuse them for each other because they don't like each other very much, and they're like, "And we're gonna cancel you on Amish Twitter." It's not what happened. They were like, "Dude, we're mega Amish. We're the most Amish people you've ever met." And I was like, "Very cool. Tell me about that." So I hiked with them down the last half an hour to the Hidden Lake, and I chatted with the oldest one. His name was Eli. He was 19. And Eli was a really smart and interesting guy for a couple reasons. First of all, just a smart guy. But also, he had a really interesting perspective on our society because he existed outside of it, right? You talk to people about our society and our culture, and they're only ever observing it from within. And Eli was somebody who existed fully outside of our society, outside of our culture, but still had a deep knowledge of it. And he had a deep knowledge of what our life was like because his community, they do a thing called Rumspringa. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm really sorry. I guess I don't have to worry about offending the Amish on the internet. Basically, Rumspringa in his community is like a state-sanctioned rebellious period. So from the time you're 16 years old, they're like, "You listen, man, you've been Amish your whole life. You're figuring out who you are. Soon you're going to have to choose to either get baptized and marry and be Amish for the rest of your life or move out. So, if you want to like do some drugs, sneak into the city to hang out with city people, drive a car, we're going to kind of turn a blind eye to it." So, Eli knew about he'd played Xbox and he knew about air conditioning and football and the internet and cars. And I was like, "That's crazy. You chose to stay Amish after all that." And he was like, "Yeah, it is." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, like that stuff is dope." He's like, "I love air conditioning and Xbox and Call of Duty and like driving cars." And I was like, why'd you leave then?" He goes, "All of these like things that you guys have, they make your life easier, but they don't really make your life better." And I was like, "What are you talking about? AC and freaking Netflix make my life way better." And he was like, "Dude, think about how much time you spend going to the gym and doing Sudoku and putting time limits on your phone and spending all this time and money to escape from this like cocoon of ease and comfort that your society has developed. And I was like, huh. He goes, like, you've created all of this comfort and all of this ease, and it's driving all of you people crazy. And I was like, huh. And so he starts to talk to me about tractors, because they have tractors and he drives a tractor. And he goes, our tractors are built to be run really hard. Like, they idle at like 2,000 RPM. To put that in perspective, your car, if you drive like a sedan, it's gonna idle around like 800 to 1,000 RPM. The tractors are built for high stress. They're built to be run hard. And if you baby them, if you try to, be really gentle with them, you run into mechanical problems. And he goes, we humans are built to have hard lives. We're built to have a lot of adversity. We're built to run at 2,000 RPM. That's what we're calibrated for. But we've created a society that removes so much adversity that, you're never too hot or too cold, and you never get hungry, and you never get bored, and you're never really working like physically that hard. You don't have to like do the hard work of making friends or getting in a relationship because like the internet supplants that. He goes, you guys are 2,000 RPM tractors, and you're trying to run your bodies at 1,000 RPM. And of course you're running into issues. And so we have self-driving cars and TikTok and DoorDash and air conditioning that all revolve around you never being bored or hungry or having to really do any type of work. Of course, you're going to run into mechanical issues. It isn't making your life better. It's just making your life easier. It's making it so that you can run at a lower RPM than your body is calibrated for. And I realize how much of my time I spend trying to get away from the comfort and ease that's available to me. Things that are supposed to make your life better, but really are just making your life easier because easy is a faster sale than better. It is easy to sell someone something that will make their life more comfortable. It is hard to sell someone something that will make their life better. And the big tech companies that rule the world, they know this. Meta knows that Facebook isn't really making your life better. Meta will pitch you on Facebook connecting with people, but they know that's not what you're doing on it. It's because they're not interested in making your life better. They're interested in making your life easier, in giving you free entertainment so that you never get bored, because if they can make your life easier, they can retain you as a customer forever. Because by definition, if their app makes your life easier, getting off of it is harder. And by and large, people just don't do hard things. This is how tech companies created this kind of weird ecosystem that we have where everybody has a phone and everybody hates their phone and everybody wants to get rid of their phone, but we can't. We cannot get rid of our phones for two reasons. First, the world just runs through them. We use them for maps and messaging and email and Google, and we need those things. And the second is, the more compelling is, we are all addicts. We are totally hooked on our phones, sometimes because they legitimately just hack the reward centers in our brains, like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube do, but also because other things on our phones let us idle at a lower RPM. When people talk about phone addiction, they usually talk about social media. They do not usually talk about DoorDash. They do not usually talk about ChatGPT or dating apps or your calculator, because those things aren't addictive in the way that we traditionally think of the word. Also, because nobody's life is getting ruined by constant access to a calculator. But they're not less habit forming than the actually addictive apps, and they're not easier to quit. Honestly, it's probably would be harder to live without a calculator on your phone than it would be to live without Instagram on your phone. Do you get what I'm getting at? It's not ruining your life, but you are dependent on it. And to the tech companies that make these apps, they kind of perform the same function as the social media apps that addict us, which is to commodify the user's life. Take normal human behavior and habits and steer them in a direction that these tech companies can make money off of. They make your life easier because they know if they can make your life easier, you will never leave. And once they have you, they can commodify you. They can monetize you. Okay. You were good, you waited, you listened through my boring Amish story. We're gonna talk about the meta glasses now. They're selling these tech glasses in the way they sell pretty much any tech product, which is, look at how much easier your life will be. They don't say that, they usually use words like efficiency or productivity, but what they mean is easy. These glasses are meant to replace your iPhone entirely, by being easier to use than an iPhone. You don't have to hold them. You don't have to keep track of them. You don't have to look down at them. Riveting stuff. And Meta made these glasses for two reasons. The first is obvious. Meta is trapped, and they have been since inception. What I mean by that is every time that you engage with WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook, you're doing it through a third-party hardware that Meta does not own, that Meta does not control. So Meta has always been at the mercy of some other big tech giant, and Mark Zuckerberg does not like that one bit. The second is these glasses are meant to commodify your vision. I don't mean they're going to give you pop-up ads every time you look at the sidewalk. They don't need to. You'll just click on something that gives you ads. What Meta wants to commodify is access to apps, their own and those of others, and streamline your use of them. With Meta glasses, you don't have to stop watching TikTok to walk or talk to someone or drive. And soon they'll be selling your, and soon maybe they will be selling your visual data to data brokers, and maybe they will be playing ads on the sidewalk, and maybe Instagram Reels will be just like a little, like one of these away, and you'll hate it. You will hate it. Just like you hate your phone now, you will hate these glasses, but you won't be able to get rid of them. You'll be, for all intents and purposes, addicted. Addicted to something that really doesn't do that much more for you than your phone already did, but provides so much more value to the shareholders of Meta than your phone does. Do I think these glasses are going to take over the world? No. In fact, I actually expect these glasses to sell relatively poorly for now. If like screen glasses ever catch on, I think it's a couple years off. But the portion of the market that Meta does capture, the 2%, the 1% of early adapters, will be so valuable to them. They will so effectively commodify the lives of the people that use these glasses that they're willing to take a big risk, spend a lot of money to get Meta glasses onto your face. So why is Meta selling glasses that nobody wants? Because they're not really interested in giving you what you want, and they never have been. They're not interested in making your life better. They're interested in commodifying your life, in growing the number of human practices that they can make money off of. And these glasses will do that. These glasses will be unimaginably effective in doing that. And because the, small section of people that do buy them will never get rid of them, will never be able to go back. Oh my goodness, they're going to make so much money off of those people. Because the function of technology is not to better your life, it is to commodify your life. Nobody wants your glasses, Mark. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. And remember, never buy Meta glasses.